The long winter break is finally over and the new ESET Cup season is upon us. It's already the 9th season for this series, and this year there will be 6 rounds on the calendar, starting at the Hungaroring in mid-April. The circuit, the home of the Hungarian Grand Prix, close to Budapest. The GT sprint races are always a popular part of the ESET Cup race weekends. This season should be no different there. They'll again feature machinery in GT3, GT4, GTC categories, along with potentially a number of prototypes. For the first sprint year of the season, first sprint race this season, Marcin Jelinski was fastest of all in GT qualifying, claiming pole for Friday's first encounter. And in the GT class, he kept the lead from the start. His father was racing too, Stanislav Jelinski, and he took up the running in second spot, while Gregor Shigo moved up to third. Alia Koloch, who was third on the grid, dropped down to 5th position after a disappointing getaway. Marcin Jelinski found little competition in the rest of the race, and he was joined by his Mercedes driving father Stanislav on the podium. The older Jelinski finished second in GT3 as the Polish team Olymp Racing celebrated a great double win. The final podium spot going to Alia Koloch, who fought his way back up. Well, considering we use a new engine, I'm pretty happy to Gregor Shigo. Everything seemed to work. I think we can managed to have our races despite the COVID situation. We'll be able to follow the restrictions and hopefully get a good season, but who knows what will happen. Anything is still possible, he says. Marcin Jelinski was also on pole position for the second sprint race, but his hopes of a repeat victory were dashed not long after the start, as he was forced to retire with mechanical problems. With the poleman's disappearance, David Brzezicki was handed a great opportunity, which he happily grabbed, taking the lead and racing on to claim victory in his Mercedes. The battle for second raged for much of the race. Stanislav Jelinski was ahead of Gregor Shigo, but he was passed first by Shigo and then by Adam Brzezicki close to the end. Shigo was delighted to finish second in GT3, having failed to complete the first race, while Brzezicki was also a delighted third-place finisher in GT3, having also claimed the win in the GTC category.
Tak pro mě super, já jsem vůbec jako jiným autem než truckem na Hungaroringu.
I've only actually been here with truck racing before, so I had to learn a whole lot of new racing lines. I drove the car last time in December in France, but we've been improving with every run, and I'm very excited. Car's working really well. We've changed the setup a little bit for today. Qualifying was better than yesterday. We're still learning, but I'm enjoying myself a lot.
Ale já jsem nadšenej, no. Je to v podstatě, člověk se furt učí a to mě baví, no.
The prototype category was won in both sprints by Miro Konotka. Václav Janik finished in second. Jarek Zulonka was in third spot to complete identical podiums for both races. In the GT4 category, Matěj Pavlicek claimed victory in Friday's first sprint, his first ever race at the Hungaroring. French feature took second. TCR Eastern Europe will again be a major part of the 2021 race weekends. Last year, Dusan Borkovic was absolutely the dominant force, the Serb winning all 8 races of the season, but he will not return to the fray this year, leaving the field wide open. 2019 champion Milovan Vesnic, talented Mika Makesh, and the returning Thomas Pekar are likely to be among the title front runners. And it was series returning Pekar who started from pole position in race one, with Milovan Vesnic posting the second fastest time and Marquez qualifying in third. As so often, the first corner played a big part in the outcome. Marquez, Vesnic and Lukas Stolaric trying to wrestle the lead from poleman Pekar. Stolaric ran too wide in turn one. There was contact between Marquez and Vesnic, so Pekar maintained the lead. After their collision, both Marquez and Vesnic dropped down the order before both staging recovery drives. Meanwhile, Thomas Pekar enjoyed the best possible return to TCR Eastern Europe, building on his early lead until it seemed that only real cruel fortune could deny him victory. Despite the collision with Milovan Vesnic in the first few meters, Mikel Marquez refused to give up, steadily moving back up the order, finally seizing second place, which he was able to keep to the finish. An audacious move on the pole, not without a little bit of contact. It was the second podium result in TCR Eastern Europe for Mikel Marquez. Milovan Vesnic also recovered to claim a podium finish. The Serb taking third spot towards the end of the race, as Pole Lukas Stolaric, who held second early on, was finally forced to settle for fifth at the flag after he was passed by Marquez, Vesnic and Italian Giacomo Gamandi, who had a great debut in TCR Eastern Europe, claiming fourth. But victory went to Thomas Pekar for the second time in TCR Eastern Europe. His first win was at the Red Bull Ring back in 2019.
Bylo to super víkend, nebo zatím ještě teda první závod a kvalifikace.
Super weekend, great race. I was lucky in qualifying, but I think we earned the win. Last year had a big crash here, so this is payback. Hadn't really expected the race to be quite so good. There are a few problems in turn one. I benefited from them, was able to build a gap. Very happy it worked out, and looking forward to race two.
Jako spokojený hrozně, že to takhle vyšlo, nečekal jsem to a těším se na druhý závod.
The first 9 drivers from race 1 were inverted on the race 2 grid, meaning Karel Wittke started from pole position, and the winner of race 1, Thomas Pekar, was back in 9th spot. But the quick guys took no time to get through. Lukas Stolaric taking the lead away from the start, having been 5th on the grid. But a fast getaway saw Thomas Pekar already up to 3rd after lap 1, and by lap 3, he was leading the race. Chasing Pekar, Mikel Marquez also moved quickly up the order into 2nd, having found a way past early leader Stolaric, who was shuffled back to 3rd. Thomas Pekar dominated the remainder of the race, claiming his 2nd win of the weekend, and he wasn't the only double podium finisher in the 2 races. Mikel Marquez also achieved that feat, the Czech finishing 3rd in race 2, having been 2nd in race 1. But it was Lukas Stolaric who finally triumphed in the battle with Marquez, taking 2nd place, Pole's first podium result in TCR Eastern Europe. The Audi driver was justifiably delighted.
Because the target for this year was to join to the guys in the top, to fight with them, and it was like I wanted. I was second. I finished second in the previous in the first race. I had some contact with Michal Marquez, and after that the car was not driving well. But this time I managed to stay out of the troubles, and hey, I'm happy, of course. It would be better to win, but Pekar was today, his pace was outstanding. It was too fast for us.
Fans of single-season racing have plenty to keep them interested in the 2021 ESET Cup season, as well as the Formula category, again forms part of the race weekend. Serbian driver Paolo Branic started his season off in the best way possible with victory in both races at the Hungaroring. In Formula 3, Oliver Mikel and Matej Kakowski claimed a win apiece, with Mikel coming out on top on Friday, Kakowski claiming Saturday's win. Benjamin Berta won both races in the Formula 4 category. They saved the best until last in the ESET Cup, the final action being the 1-hour endurance race as ever. In GT3, Martin Jelinski again started from pole position. The Bagheera zero mileage crew, David Rzecki and Alia Koloc, started second on the grid, with Gregor Zigo lining up in third. Jelinski underlined his position as favourite right from the beginning. The pole taking the lead at the start, quickly beginning to build a lead over his rivals. He was clearly determined to make amends for his enforced retirement in the second sprint race with mechanical woes earlier in the day, and to reward his crew for the hard work in getting the car ready for the final race. The Holland Racing Mercedes driver was again in untouchable form. The Bagheera zero mileage racing machine was in second place from the start and hung on to that spot. For the first half of the race, it was David Rzecki who drove the team's Mercedes. Gregor Zigo had a firm grip on third place in GT3, the rapid Slovak in the BMW M6 GT3, as ever run by Trevor Racing. In GT4, RTR Projects, the team from Brno in the Czech Republic, held the lead throughout. Eric Yanis and Matej Pavlicek maintained their advantage right through the pit stops. Pavlicek handing the lead car to teammate Yanis. And Eric Yanis had no problems during the remainder of the race to secure the GT4 win for the RTR Project squad. Ferenc Fischer, the local hero, claims second in GT4 on his home circuit.
Pro mě to byla zábava, protože jsem bojoval se Stonem, který
vlastně
s náma nesoutěží v kategorii, ale bylo to dobrý, užil jsem si to, děkuju týmu za perfektní práci během celého víkendu a děkuju mému spolujezdci Matěju Pavlíčkovi, který je vůbec poprvé a odvedl skvělou práci, neudělal žádnou chybu, takže jsme společně dovedli auto na prvním místě a jsme spokojení.
Gregor Zigo finished the endurance race in third place in the BMW M6 in GT3. Alia Koloc crossed the line in second spot in his Mercedes AMG. But it was Martin Jelinski who celebrated with victory after a dominant performance.
Nie wiem właśnie, czy taki niesamowity, dlatego że
wygrałem
pierwszy sprint, drugiego w ogóle praktycznie nie rozpocząłem, dlatego że mieliśmy kłopot ze skrzynią i teraz udało się wygrać długi endurance. Także w sumie jestem zadowolony.
Miro Konopka from ARC Bratislava topped the prototypes in the hour-long enduro.
Jasné, že toto je taký strašne príjemný tréning, ako
it's good practice for me. Since the Asian Le Mans series finished, we've only done a bit of testing. I'm happy we're at least able to get a race here, but let's be honest, Václav Janik is the only other prototype here, so really for me, it's like a test session.
Ostatné sú není prototypy, takže, ale je to pre mňa hlavne tréning.
Round 2 of the 2021 ESET Cup will be at the Slovakia Ring in mid-May, and we'll be there to catch all the action.